Start your journey with a Jane Bank Small Business Loan with small business loans with as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million.
The time is 6 a.m.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CBM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
We are back. Yes, we are back. After 37 days, Schoolboy Football is back, but under different circumstances. Far different circumstances.
The confirmed death toll from Hurricane Melissa has climbed to 45.
The destruction Hurricane Melissa left in her wake is undeniable. The disruption of lives, displacement, and
feels like a Christmas movie intro, like a Lifetime Christmas movie.
Lifetime, to be specific, it does.
You just feel like one of those Lifetime Christmas movies. The intro, you know, big town corporate exec goes home and meets small town farmer.
Exactly
and
that.
finds love.
Walking in with my briefcase. Oh, briefcase falls.
You've been gone a long time. That's not how we do things here, okay? We're a much slower guy. We place an emphasis on feelings.
That's exactly how it goes.
Big town, you can't come here with that approach.
That's exactly how it goes. And she's some fancy corporate girl, all bougie and uptight. And then she meets the guy who wants wood behind his cabin.
His lumberjack. And those movies will be watched ad nauseum. Do you like those Lifetime movies? You look like...
I live for those. Daniel, you love them? I love them.
I'm like, yeah, Daniel is the Lifetime movie
And the thing is, Lifetime has them, now Netflix has them. Like, I literally can't wait for...
Seriously?
What? Every single Saturday morning leading up to Christmas, my daughter and I obsess over Christmas movies. I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, while we were putting up our Christmas tree, we were watching only one movie you can watch while that's being happening. Come on.
Alone?
You see? You see? Home Alone was literally what we watched after I put up the Christmas tree.
Yes, yeah, Home Alone.
Come on. Standard. Come on. Is it even Christmas if you don't? There you go.
Well, I think I haven't watched Home Alone in a few years, but I'm definitely gonna be watching Home Alone.
And you love Christmas.
And I love Home Alone. Like I really.
So we're gonna fix that. We're talking about the original ones, by the way, the OG ones. Home Alone 1 and 2. Yeah. That's
not the New York and oh god. After a while it got too much. Yeah, no.
Original.
Yeah.
Original. Yeah. You want a replica? No, sorry. Good morning, Sunrisers.
morning, folks. Oh, gosh. Oh, but it is feeling so Christmassy. And I think the reason why it's feeling so Christmassy is because, like, from the moment you walk in and the set is just Christmassy and everything just feels very Yuletide.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome.
Actually, sorry, can you just can we get back Dennis's single shot, please?
Yeah.
DJ, that okay, no, come this way. Oh no, just kidding, this way.
There,
right there. Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, 2 elves on the shelf, and one is actually step back now. They're on Dennis's shoulder. Oh, this way.
I like it.
What is this one telling you? And what is this one telling you?
Be merry and bright.
I love it.
That sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire. But yeah, love Christmas. Karen Booker.
God. Karen Design Diva Booker has outdone herself on the set this year.
It's beautiful.
And just given us all the Christmas feels. Yesterday we were talking about the set. And we were asking persons, what is your set theme? This is our theme for the Christmas.
Yeah.
What is your theme going to be? And I was surprised how many people were in the comments talking about what their theme is going to be. And they're like really excited to talk about it. And I mean, it's just infectious. Like the Christmas, like if the people weren't feeling the Christmas spirit before,
they feel it now.
Well, they're feeling it now.
I think also a big thing is initially, maybe a month ago, we were conflicted. Like, is Christmas going to be over because of what, you know, what October looked like, what November has been as well, right? But then you realize, no, but we need a little upliftment. We need a little feel good. The home needs to feel exciting, especially for the littles, you know? But also we can do this and still support our brothers and sisters in the West. And I think Karen has done a beautiful job of doing that. If we take a look at this right here, if you see this really cool piece that Karen has done.
Can we get a shot from camera 2 on this one?
You can see we're actually we're celebrating and, you know, hailing and remembering and recognizing all the folks who are going through the toughest of it right now in the West. So you see there, Manchester, St. Bay, St. James, Trelawney, Hanover. Very, very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. So there you have it. We are celebrating. We are focusing on, of course, our friends out in the West. And I think I like that little touch. I also like the cups. Our cups today. What does yours say? Mine says hot cocoa served here.
Oh, I love it. And here we have a little holiday candy.
Yeah.
That's homemade.
You look like the person who's going to make homemade candy.
I might be. Just maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
But either way, I'm so happy that we've got to December. I'm happy that we're here.
Later on, we're going to show you Rasta Santa, who's in studio this year. Rasta Santa is in studio. It is Santa with an island bod and a Jamaican flavored Santa in studio. You're going to be seeing him a little bit later. Morning, Rasta Santa. Morning, Karen Design Diva Booker. You can find her online, of course, at Karen Design Diva, D-E-Z, of course, Diva. And yeah, you can have her decorate your space, because I know when it comes to decorating, me just leave it, you know, because it's not me.
But you're a clever guy. It's okay.
I'm just, you know,
you can saute the onions.
No, I'm going to stand up on the thing and I'm going to put the garland and the this and the all the different name them. I'm just punch, let's go.
You just take really good instructions from your wife.
Yes, and I put up the things that need to be put up.
But that's all we ever ask.
I don't have the vision to say,
it's okay.
This is going to be, no.
We don't want you to have the vision.
Exactly. There are people who have the vision. And I leave it to people like, you know.
It's called self-awareness. Really good job, Dennis. Well done. Just hang that garland.
Guess what, folks? You know what I do know? Our quote of the day.
Yes.
When choosing gifts this season, choose time. Choose care. Choose kindness. Choose love.
Easiest thing you can do. Easiest gift you can give.
Choose.
And of
love
course,
is a choice, you know.
It is a
love
choice.
Love is a choice. Love is what you get up and choose
happiness.
To do every day.
So is peace. All of these things are choices that you make. And a big part of it too is choosing how to respond to certain stimuli.
Yes.
Choosing how to see the world. Choosing how to be in the world.
Yes.
a lot of what we experience in life truly comes down to personal choice. It does.
Former boss of mine once said, "Morning, Major General," once said, "There's a difference between reply and response."
Yes.
There's a difference. And sometimes you can reply, but you must not respond.
100%.
Yeah.
I love things that make you marinate, you see. Oh, love that. Speaking
3 years
of
later, I'm
things,
still thinking about it.
there you go. Speaking of things that make you marinate or that you kind of ponder on for as long as time allows, today is also the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery.
Oh, yes.
So slavery is the ownership of one person by another, treating them as property and forcing them into compulsory unpaid labor. So modern day slavery is when one person profits by exploiting and controlling another person, whether physically, financially, or even psychologically, through forced labor, forced marriages, human trafficking, or armed conflict. So with approximately 50 million vulnerable people living in situations of slavery, still today, there remains a deep need to raise awareness and to work toward ending slavery. So the International Day for the Abolition of Slavery aims to bring awareness, advocating for freedom, dignity, and justice, and act as an urgent call as well of action to bring an end to this critical violation of human rights in the modern world.
Indeed. I think the biggest challenge is that in the modern era, slavery is more subtle.
Correct.
So people will see it and not see it. 500 years ago, 300 years ago, everybody knows slaves,
right.
You know, the slave owner, you know, slave trafficker. Today, it's under the radar and people are passing and you don't know because like you have somebody doing unpaid labor and you're holding them passport and they can't get to leave.
Correct.
You know?
As a matter of fact, I know of a Jamaican right now in a crisis situation overseas with that exact scenario. Promised a work opportunity overseas. Obviously, all the documents had to be supplied. Once the documents were received, things were put in place as though paperwork was happening. They arrived to their destination, never saw back their documents. They've been working in a factory, have never been paid, and don't have their documents, so they can't leave their stuck. Right now, I know of someone in that scenario.
That is called slavery.
Correct, correct. Also, let's even get into ethical practices in certain factories. Some people, like, so for example, I absolutely refuse to order from certain online shops because I know that the people are underpaid and overworked in the mass production of certain garments. I refuse to support it. But there are people who it's not apparent to them because it's just, but this is so much less expensive. Why don't I order here instead of buying here?
You don't know why it's so much less expensive. Yeah, you don't know why.
Because someone is being exploited. So, you know, sweatshops are also a form of slavery that we need to discuss in this modern era.
Definitely. It's another international day. It's World Pollution Prevention Day. The day calls on everyone to think about the world we live in and the damage that we can still stop. It's about the smoke in the air, plastic in the ocean, and chemicals in the soil. And these things don't just harm nature, they hurt us as well. Breathing becomes harder, water becomes unsafe, and our environment and our food feel the impact. So this day, it reminds us that simple choices like carpooling or using less plastic can make a real difference. Instead of cleaning up after the damage is done, it pushes us to avoid the mess in the first place.
You know, the other day,
walk around with your Stanley Cup and maybe use less plastic. The
other day I made this point, and it's such a tricky position to be in. It's a conundrum, truthfully.
Yes.
And the point I made was it's lovely to see so much support being given to people who are currently direly affected by the hurricane.
Yeah.
But every time I see a case of water, a case of plastic bottles, I cringe because
these are not going to be disposed well.
I am so concerned about what it means for the disposal of these plastics, but also I remember, I believe it was last week, we had from the fire brigade. We had oh, shame. It will come to you shortly. But we had a representative from the fire brigade here speaking about the concern of the disposal of waste and people setting fires and the fires being spread. So, you know, here it is that we have a bunch of plastics now. We can't dispose of them properly. How do you get rid of them? What ends up happening with the plastics? And it's like, it's such a catch-22 because you want people to have access to water.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, is there a different way we could do this? Because what will be the longer implication? You know what I mean?
Right. And in these spaces, waste disposal is so challenged right now because the system
it's especially
for waste
challenged.
collection. I mean, are we having regular garbage collection in Black River right now?
No.
Yeah.
Correct, because the system is strained trying to remove debris.
Yeah.
So it's really concerning to me. But I feel like I've said this ad nauseum at this point. I want us to have a better culture of how we dispose. And I don't know if having a better culture of disposal means having better access to receptacles to dispose. I don't know if that's what it requires.
Well, changing the culture means changing both the tangible and intangible aspects of culture. So having receptacles be ubiquitous is an important aspect of it. And maybe how the kinds of receptacles that we have is a part of the culture, but also the intangibles, the values that we attach to waste disposal, the norms and mores that we attach to waste disposal. I mean, the perceptions that people have, the sensitivities that people have to waste disposal, the way people interpret their roles as waste producers and waste disposers and waste collectors. Those are things that will influence ultimately the culture that surrounds, because those are the elements of culture that's how culture is manifest.
Correct.
Those are things that we need to change.
On Sunday, I went to a performance that my daughter had at school, and I had my son with me. Come through shoulders. I had my son with me, and so with all the little jerk chicken and supporting because it's a fundraiser, right? But once we were finished eating, because my toddler is with me, it's a little challenging to go to the nearest bin and come back. I don't want to carry him with me. I don't want the bag and the baby and the garbage. So I put the garbage under my chair. When I was leaving the event, I had him in my arms because he's now sleeping, and my husband was away for work with JFF, with the Reggae Girls in St. Lucia. So I have him in my arm, I have the bag, and I said to the gentleman behind me, I said, "Excuse me, sir, could you just reach that box for me, that plate?" And he reaches it for me, and he says to me, "I'm so impressed." And I was like, "What? What you impressed at?"
What?
And he said, the box.
He thought you were going to leave it.
And I said, "But
am I garbage?
Am I garbage? Why would I expect anyone to pick up my garbage?" And so I took it up, baby in tow, bag on my shoulder, found the garbage, dropped it off, and I thought to myself, but this would be normal for the Japanese in the stadium.
Absolutely. They'd be cleaning up other people. They'd be doing everybody's garbage.
But the fact that even our fellow citizen could be like, "Oh, good job." We need to work on what we view as cultural norms, societal norms, and how we treat with things like these. It's really important. We have to work on that. I really think we do.
We do. Definitely. And that's something that...
By the way, sorry. Speaking of, I know I just mentioned it very briefly, the Reggae Girls. Whoa! As I mentioned, my husband being in St. Lucia. 18 love,
I noticed.
18 love,
How many did Bunny score?
I believe Bunny had a hat trick. Dre, am I right? Bunny had a hat trick?
I would expect.
A hat trick plus one? No, a hat trick. She was kind after that. She said, "Oh, let me share with my friends." Assist.
I'll pass.
Assist. We actually had 2 ladies with hat tricks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, if you're going to score 18, I would expect, you have a few hat tricks.
Listen, I'm very excited to see what happens with our Reggae Girls. As you know, they're on the path now for aiming to qualify for the 2027 World Cup. And so they do have a few matches coming up, so make sure you stay tuned to see what's happening with our girls. We need to show up and support our girls in the same way that we show up and support the boys. So when them come home, stadium need for full. Oh, I know that head back.
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that?
Look at that.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mr. Mark, morning.
Hey, Mr. Mark, that's so funny. No, I feel like I'm the only person who says that.
That's what I call him, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Mr. Mark.
Mr. Mark. You know, I'm going to say some happy birthdays. I gather that you have a very happy birthday because I heard you before the show sending out.
Yes, it's my brother's birthday, my big brother. It's his birthday. So happy birthday, Dion.
He's big, but he's littler than you in age.
No, he's my older brother.
He's your older brother?
Everyone thinks I am the older sibling.
Really?
I mean, I've always been mature. Dion is my big brother.
Really?
Yes, there he is.
You got to be kidding me.
That's my brother.
In all the years of knowing you, I thought he was your little brother.
I think every single human on the planet thinks he's my younger brother, except for people who we grew up with. But that's my brother Dion, who celebrates his birthday today. Me love you long time. That's my brother, yeah.
I'm also going to say happy birthday to Shanna K. Brown, nurse Shanna K. Brown. She's enjoying her birthday, but she's coming back home today. Shanna K. Brown, I'm so proud of you. Happy birthday today.
Nice.
Matron, have a good one.
Happy birthday, Shanna K. You know who else has a birthday today?
Yes.
Britney Spears. That's such a random. You know, you have like random knowledge. I remember when we were in high school and Britney Spears became a thing because she was the pop girl. Did it again. And I was like, oh my gosh, Britney and Dion have the same birthday. And I've never forgot Britney Spears.
Because you have an association.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, guess what? It's time for a break. Here's your pocket of sunshine.
I feel like I just want you to be the crop top though, for full effect.
Hell no. Absolutely not. Let's go to a break.
No snake. I'm a snake. Maybe there's a snake on your shoulders.
Take the break for me now, please.
Can we get much higher? So high.
The time by Sagicor is
6:15 a.m.
This is Jamaica's season for giving thanks for what matters. It's the time to show up, be there for each other, and to feed our hope for a brighter tomorrow. Celebrate being together with a KFC festive feast. Get the new festive 9 bucket. Proceeds from each festive feast purchase go towards hurricane relief. KFC is finger licking good.
Our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent hurricane.
We're celebrating 138 years, and as a part of our commitment, the OEC is organizing a relief drive to help those in need.
Your dreams don't have to pause. Your education is still within reach.
That's why we have extended the registration deadline for the May-June 2026 CXC examinations. Private candidates, you may complete your registration online, or you may visit any of our offices and complete the process using your credit or debit card.
Because even in these challenging times, your future is worth fighting for. At the OEC, we hold firm in what we believe.
There's something special about our Jamaican people. Even through the toughest of time, you find a reason to smile. And here at Digicel, we take our inspiration from you. That's why we're partnering with every single Jamaican. We're gifting a smile to our brothers and sisters who need it most. So Christmas will look different this year. We're hitting the road, we're reconnecting with our customers, we're gifting a smile, and we're restoring hope. We are relentless, and we will never stop showing up for you.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. we'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
All right, 26 minutes after 6. Good morning to you. Welcome back to Sunrise. It's now time for the headlines with your favorite news elf, Tinkerbell. Good morning. Oh, Lord, true one. True one. True one.
Good morning. This was your elf on the shelf. Stole your earring.
You know what I mean? It just took it away. Good morning.
Hi.
How are ya?
Feeling like Christmas.
It's a beautiful morning.
Kind of coming now.
Yes.
Are you an Irish elf?
Accept it. It's a beautiful feeling, my dear.
Scottish. Just kidding.
Oh, dearie.
Oh.
It's such a beautiful morning. I absolutely love it. Dear Nola.
That's exactly what I'm hearing from you. Are we ready for the headlines?
We are absolutely ready for
peeps?
the headlines.
So let's do it.
Let's go with the headlines, my dear.
Well, you know, it's all about receiving for the holiday season. Jamaica to receive $6.7 billion for Hurricane Melissa recovery and reconstruction. A coalition of 5 major international financial institutions have announced a $6.7 billion or just over $1 trillion Jamaican dollar support package to help Jamaica recover from Hurricane Melissa. The funds to be provided over a 3-year period, will be from the institutions such as the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, the CAF, the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, the Inter-American Development Bank Group, IDB Group, and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and of course the World Bank Group, WBG. Now, the World Bank and IDB estimate the storm caused about $8.8 billion in damage, which is about 41% of Jamaica's GDP, making it the costliest hurricane in the nation's history. The package will include emergency financing, grants, loans, and private sector investments. Prime Minister Andrew Holness noted that a new National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority will be created to lead rebuilding efforts.
All right. So just for persons to understand, that line was critical. It's not free money, right? It is what we have managed given our where we are in the economy. I think the story that people need to get is that how we have managed the economy has placed us in line to be able to secure this funding. Right. And if approximately $9 billion US in damage was caused, so we've secured approximately 7 of that 9, which is significant, which means that there is a clear pathway forward for us to rebuild. And so what I like is that some of it is grants, so some of it we won't have to pay back. Right. Some of it is actual loans, which we will have to manage and pay back. It will add to the national debt, but some of it is going to come in the way of private investment. And so, but those are guaranteed private investment that we won't have to go out on a marketing roadshow and pitch, because it is there. And so the combination, the suite of relief services and options, I think is very significant, because then we can begin to chart a path forward, knowing that the line of funding is relatively secure. Yeah. Which is why I think we need that a dedicated authority that's properly staffed. I don't know who they're going to pull from where. And maybe people are in other aspects of the public sector are going to have to be moved from on secondment to this authority to staff it and make it run efficiently because we're going to have to account for every dollar.
Every.
Right.
And it's not like, what free money? We just spend and just, no. Because, as I've said before, with every opportunity, there are going to be people who are going to be looking to hustle something and to scrape and to be not accountable. So I want to see every dollar accounted for.
Yeah. I will add to that, though, that when you see responses like these, I think it, for me, highlights the critical importance of fiscal discipline.
Yes.
And the critical importance of what I like to call a non-fancy, non-topical, non-focus of attention ministry, but is so critically important for moments like these, and that's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
And I think these are the things where so much work is done that people, it's not apparent, but the response speaks to relationship, which is important from that ministry. The response also speaks to our ratings improving, our fiscal management, our fiscal discipline, the fall in our debts, the improvement in our employment numbers. These things all matter when it comes to the bigger picture of how we relate with the world and how the world responds to us in moments like these.
Our most recent ratings from Fitch and the other ratings agencies understand that helps determine how much we're going to secure and when and how. Right. And so it is now that we appreciate it, in times like this, that we appreciate the benefit of fiscal discipline, the fiscal responsibility framework that we have had in place for maybe about 3 or 4 successive administrations, if we're going back to as far back as even as far back as the first IMF agreement, which put in place the groundwork, the foundations of what we're seeing now. So we've had transition across time in terms of changes in administration, but a dedication to fiscal discipline, which has allowed us to secure
100%.
this.
But when I think of funding like this, 2 things come to mind. One is the unique opportunity that we now have to improve systems that we would have never had that opportunity had we A, not had the funding, and B, had the ability to, it sounds bad, but almost have a clear slate to start from based on the damage that has been done. So that's an awesome opportunity. However, with a lot of funding usually comes, the word eludes me, when they tell you how you have to spend it on this, or you have to use this material, or you have to go through this country to get your goods or whatever. And so I'm curious to know if there's any of that associated with the funding and how it aligns with what we want. That
was something that used to be heavily associated with, for instance, borrowing from the IMF.
Right,
having very strict stipulations. And very often it's the stipulations that lock you into particular economic patterns that back in the day were often deleterious to growth and development. I would hope that we've grown from there. I would really hope that we've grown from there. But yes, that's a good point.
I hope so. But all right, well, let's see. We shall see. Next up, residents of Westmoreland, more receiving. You see, Westmoreland receives water purification kits from Global Medic. Residents of Frome in Westmoreland are now benefiting from approximately 270 water purification buckets and other supplies provided in family emergency kits distributed by international relief organization Global Medic. They received that on November 27. The assistance comes amid heightened concerns about leptospirosis across the parish following weeks of flooding and compromised water sources in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Global Medic volunteer Laurie Strauss stated that the kits include a 2-bucket gravity-fed water filtration system equipped with a ceramic filter to make contaminated water safe for consumption. Ms. Strauss noted that the system achieves 99.9% removal of bacteria and viruses, making it particularly vital at a time when unsafe water heightens the risk of infection. She added that the kits also contain solar lights and hygiene items, including toothpaste, toothbrushes, and soap, which will support families still coping with extended power outages and damaged household supplies.
You know what I like about this? Sometimes, the saying, we're not dead, not dash away. There are methods that were used by our ancestors that were so solid of methods that sometimes you don't need to tweak it, you don't need to fix it, you don't need to change it. One such is the ceramic method of filtering water. That method is as old as time. And it works. You saw the number a while ago, it said through that filtration system, 99.9% of bacteria is removed. This is a classic case of our ancestors got that right.
Going back to our roots.
Back to basics. Sometimes you just have to go back to basics and simplify what the thing is. And I'm pleased to see that, because I think we need to not forget that these things exist and they're actually fully functional, and maybe more of that needs to be put in place as we, again, on the back of what you just said, while this is a crisis situation and we're devastated that so many people have been hurt and have had dire losses, if we can perhaps change our perspective and look for silver linings, some silver linings are truly coming out of this. One of them is how much we are rallied together as community. Another is there are some things that were not working that need to be adjusted, and we can actually do it in a much improved way. This is one of them.
Well, you know, they say necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yeah.
And now when people have no choice, finally they are doing some of the things that people were suggesting maybe a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, definitely, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's what I have for you, but of course.
Thank you very much,
I
Tinkerbell.
cannot.
Oh, he's back.
No, you can't be back yet. No, I tried. That's right.
Not the back.
Hey, I got you back.
I can't.
I got you
don't
back.
have it. But you
composer?
The feeling is getting...
I cannot close because you guys got the opportunity to do it earlier, but I can't close out the headlines without giving my kudos to the design diva, Karen Booker, for all their festive Christmas decor, especially
You like it, don't
curated
you?
by
Admit it.
Karen
You love
Booker
it, you're feeling
design.
it.
Hi, love it, Holly.
Yesterday we asked you what your decor is going to be, and you seemed unsure. Are you more sure today?
All right, I have a confession to make. I never want to say it into Christmas and these things.
I have a feeling I know.
You're not going to decorate
I
this year?
couldn't tell the last time I had a Christmas
I
tree.
knew she was going to say it.
Let me explain something to you.
There's Rasta Santa. I told you we're going to introduce him.
TK, who needs a Christmas tree when you can just have a Rasta Santa? Who's a Rasta Santa in your home?
Rasta Santa.
A few
His
decor
name
pieces,
is
yes.
Everton.
Everton? Right.
Is he not going to be
that's like one of the classic Jamaican names.
No, man, but for real, I just a few throw pillars here and things. I remember saying, I have children in my yard, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Christmas tree and the presents under the tree and all those things, I feel like picnic them, man.
I feel the picnic them?
Yeah, man.
No, man.
Next year, you know?
Have a tree.
Is that breaking news?
No. No, that's not what that was. But I love it though, I love it. Karen Booker Design, as always, slapping with the decor.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, Teeks, that was actually great. I love the news you brought this morning.
Thank you.
Good news.
Yeah.
See?
Good news.
Very good news.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for the headlines, but there's more Sunrise coming up after this.
Woot, woot.
I dare you to do this all morning.
That would be nice.
We are back. Yes, we are back. After 37 days, schoolboy football is back, but under different circumstances. Far different circumstances.
The confirmed death toll from Hurricane Melissa has climbed to 45.
The destruction Hurricane Melissa left in her wake is undeniable. The disruption of lives, displacement, and in some cases, absolute desperation were palpable. But in the midst of despair, it is sport which can provide an escape. Hope can shine brightly even after the gloom of disaster has brought darkness. And that hope can be found in the teamwork, community, and camaraderie built through sport. Issa Schoolboy Football is aiming to lift the nation's student athletes and the wider Jamaica out of the perils they face after the storm. Even in times of struggle, the Jamaican spirit of resilience will continue to shine through sport. Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
CBM, you know. But mums, you can't watch it on CBM website, man. Score! Greatness begins here.
Yeah, man, this is Nadine Sutherland, because we triumphant, because we not stay down, we not go down. Stop one like we are cause we triumphant. Yeah, this is Nadine Sutherland. Big it up, Rockers TV with Urchin.
Yo, this is Bungie God.
And this is Rayan Lyons. See it happen
on CVM TV.
See it happen on CVM TV. That's what he's trying to say. See it happen on CVM TV. Thank you. See it happen.
See it happen.
All right, welcome back to Sunrise. So as we kickstart the festive season, the Sunrise set received a drastic change in decor. A nice drastic change. So it's all thanks to our Mrs. Claus of the decor world, of course, founder of Design Diva, Karen Booker. So she's with us this morning to walk us through beautifully decorated Christmas set. Well, this set, as she's going to explain the inspiration, the color palette, the themes, and the creative choices that brought the holiday decor to life, but also how you can elevate your home space, because she's the best person to give us advice on that.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, and I love the accolades. Like, yes, the best. Reach convergence.
Is there anyone else?
No. It's just incomparable. You can't compare. Exactly. So, all right.
But no, I mean, everybody was talking about the set yesterday. We were talking about the kitchen and the feel. When you are, and I was saying before the show started that I really respect what people like you do, because I don't see it.
Right.
I don't see it. Me just see the empty space. But you have vision. Tell us what you dream up when you dream up a set for us.
Decor is about decor and design, because it's two different things. It's about a story. Design is the underpinning of what's to come. So it can't be a shout. It has to be a whisper. So therefore, whatever it is that you're talking about, even in a home setting, you know, it has to be a comfortable setting that it gives you a warm and fuzzy. You understand? Now, because it's Christmas at sunrise, and because we need to have a shout because of what's going on in Jamaica right now, we kind of amped it up a bit, you know, to make sure that when you look at it, it's impactful, it's purposeful, it's intentional, you know? So therefore, you see the kitchen vignettes it's all about like the elf on the shelf, you know?
Yeah, we know noticed that.
Yeah, the lanterns here with the elves. So the little elves, when you think about elves, you think about hardworking people, you think about whimsical. So we needed a little bit of whimsy coming in. And of course, for the fabulous ladies, we have this. 'Tis the season to be fabulous.
I saw
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So it's the little touches that every time you come in, you're going to see. So, I didn't notice that yesterday. I didn't notice this. I didn't notice that. Also, we have the gnomes. You know, gnomes are in. So it's a lot of trends as well as classic Christmas. Everything coming together to give Jamaica a little shot of feel good. And, you know, and I believe that Christmas is the best time where God comes into fruition. You know what I'm saying? You can't think about Christmas without thinking about Jesus. So that is the message for everybody throughout the year that, you know what I'm saying, is purposeful like that. So this is the intention.
I understand your intention, and I love how you share with us about, you know, lifting the spirits. But walk me through how you chose what color palette you're going to go with, and even in choosing the whim and the fancy, how do we make it cohesive and not just like all over the place?
All over the place. Okay. First thing that you do, even if this is in your home or anything, choose the palette. You understand what color speaks to you, what color soothes your soul, what color, you know, is for you. For all intents and purposes, the set. Red screams, red pops, red is great, and so on may not be the same for you in your home. Maybe, as Miss Kitty said, she wants like a plummy pink or so on. There's a woodland theme that's out this year as well, which is like the browns and the greens and so on. Wouldn't translate too well on the set.
Right.
You understand? So it has to be time and place as well. You know? So for this, and remember, in a decor design is carefully considered. It's not just, I see that and maybe that can work here and that can work there. We think about things, put it together, you know what I'm saying, and then tie in the inspiration with what's relevant, what is here.
Speaking of what's relevant, what's here, let's talk about just to your left there.
Right.
So
this is
timely,
the hope tree.
So relevant.
This is the hope tree, and it has some of, don't come for me, some of the areas that were most affected. You know,
so we have St. Elizabeth, St. James.
Right, Manchester, St. James, Trelawney, and Hanover. Westmoreland people, I know, we did spell it wrong. So we took it off, we're going to put it back on.
See, I knew there was a reason.
Yes. The E was missing, and I didn't want to just put it there and then you'll come and say, no, can't spell. So we're going to put it back there for you, right? By tomorrow, it'll be there. So this tree now says, listen, there is devastation, but hope coming. Christmas coming. We're coming. We're here. We see you. Because we don't want to be tone deaf. Right. You understand? We don't want to be saying, now celebrate Christmas, and we don't have survivor's guilt either. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's about, listen, Jamaica still a keep. Christmas is here, and we're spreading some joy and sprinkling some whimsy, and we're coming to you.
All right, let's see what else is going on.
Us over there. Okay. All right.
Let's head on over.
So,
Karen, let me ask you while we head on over, how long did, pulling all of this together take for you?
Oh gosh, we start thinking about concepts. We start, I don't know, maybe October.
Okay, wow.
Right? And we think about concepts. We think about how we want people to feel, how it will translate in camera, and what kind of inspiration or motive, people can use in their homes, like in their kitchen. As you know, we're just over there. I should have said this. Kitchen is the hub of your home.
Especially at Christmas.
Especially at Christmas. So, and you should be doing it for you, not just for your guests.
Yeah.
You live there, honor yourself. So we made a handcart.
Love the handcart.
Love because it's Jamaican Christmas. We don't have no snow, so we don't need no sleigh. But we have handcart.
Good one.
You understand? We have the dogs coming. Mongrel dog, because we don't have deer, we have dog.
Brownie.
The browning, exactly. I have two, Charlie and Lulu. The browning, them coming. You understand? The Jamaican brownie, them coming, right? And then we don't have Santa Claus and so on, but we have Jamaican Santa.
Rasta
you know what
Santa.
I'm saying? Rasta Santa, however, maybe, And we have him with the mesh marina.
Big up Everton.
You know what I'm saying? Everton is coming. Everton coming with him hand can full of Everton is coming with his, and of course it's out of many one people. You understand? So everybody who come and say, boy, no, out of many one people, right? So Santa, Rasta Santa, Everton is coming now with his bag of gifts.
By the way,
in the
Everton
hand
comes
cart.
to us courtesy of statement pieces by Chris.
Right.
Okay.
And we got the outfit and we dressed him. Of course, nothing says Jamaica like the Mesh Marina.
Honest to goodness.
You understand?
That's what you're gonna when I saw it, immediately I got it.
You have to relate. You know what I'm saying? So we made the hand cart and we said we need somebody. So
I really
Santa
like the
will be
hand cart
pushing
instead
the
of
hand
the sleigh.
cart.
That just makes so much sense.
It is Jamaica. We're Jamaican, and I really, it's a pet peeve of mine to see the snowflakes and the whatnot and so on, because we are in Jamaica. We are, part of the world.
Let me head home to remove the penguin and the snowman at my front door.
I understand, but it's Jamaica. And the message that we want to send, because everybody watches CVM at sunrise, so the world is like, listen, this is Jamaica. We have a great message. We have great, things that are intrinsically Jamaican. So we don't have to adopt from everybody's culture all the time because we have our own.
All right, let's head on over to...
And then we'll just go over to...
Coach Set.
The set. Okay, so... I didn't even want to sit it separately. But anyhow.
I used to love these sweeties when I was a kid, so this is very nostalgic for me.
It's nostalgic for you. It's peppermint candy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Peppermint. And then you have the Christmas tree over here, and another peppermint, and Christmas tree on the pillow. What you have to do?
A nice way to elevate your home is to put in some throw cushions,
just some little, just use it. Just put a little thing. If you can't, what I'm saying is there's something. If it's just ribbon, accent pillows, something, you know what I'm saying, that's impactful, something that reminds you of Christmas. You don't have to go the full gamut. I mean, this is, a lot.
I like when
I understand.
I like the things that are taken out just at Christmas.
Yes.
Like it makes you feel this time is special, and we have special things just for this time.
Yes.
And so the settee look different, the coffee table look different, the dining table have, I don't know what it's called. I don't know the name of the thing.
A runner.
And the runner.
There you go.
Exactly. Whether it's the one that you buy from where everybody shop downtown with the ruffle, or you have the straight one and so on with tassels. Whatever you do, make your space festive. Do yourself a favor. When it comes, and of course in the bedroom, the Christmas spread. And they're coming back. They're coming back. There's lots of things. As long as you have accent pillows already, just switch them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just do something. Jamaica is all about paint on the house, curtain, bed sheets, spread, and you need all of these things and so on. So even if you bought from last year, you know what it is, you buy from last year and then you use it for the entire year and then you buy again. You know what I'm saying? So do yourself a favor. I was watching Money Master class yesterday and so on. So therefore, start these things you're going to get. You're going to have that Christmas feeling. Start early. So we did the tree as well, and the tree topper angels are made by us. They're made from water bottles.
Oh,
right?
Really?
So water bottles.
Really?
Okay. Yes. You see the base, how we put them onto the tree, that's a water bottle. Right? And so it's totally sustainable. The fabric, we make drapes. So it's the scraps from the factory that make the costumes and so on. So angels, anything, the tree toppers, the thing that is trending this year is bows.
Yes, I realized
it's a bow Christmas,
fabric bows. I actually saw even someone using a long cushion, tying fabric in the middle and have the fabric cascading down the tree, and then you put that at the top. So it's a big bow, a massive bow.
Yes,
yeah.
Right. But to make sure that you put your angel on top of the bow and it look good. And another way you can make your bow too is to have like a sleeping pillow.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And tie it, wrap it with or put a pillowcase on it. That's nice. You can stitch one and so on. Tie it in the middle. When you tie it in the middle, the two sides will automatically come up, and then you have it cascading down. That you can put right in the middle of your sofa.
Yes.
Nice thing.
Ooh, I'm doing that when I get home.
Please do.
Karen, good one.
So question, in terms of cost, because somebody has to ask the cost question.
Of course.
I mean, all of the trinkets and the decorations, it sounds like it can be pricey.
But it's how you shop and where you shop. Because I have made at my business of walking the streets of Jamaica and seeing where the deals are. And there are deals out there. Many, 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 many deals.
I mean, I have time for walk and look the deals. You walk and look the deals, no man.
Out there, so exactly. So therefore, my name is Karen Booker. I am the queen of design. I am Mrs. Claus, and the number to call is 876-421-6298. Or you can go on our Instagram page. Our TikTok is the same thing. It's Karen Design Diva Booker. You know. In the meantime, yeah, the Haberdasher them are out there.
Also, you know, a really good tip that people sleep on is, okay, right now you call Karen because you're going to get your decor right now. But you see, when January morning come, buy the ornaments that are left because everything going to be slashed. The price is going to be discounted. So that's when I do my Christmas shopping for the next year, because I get all the ornaments at half the price. Because I need to clear the shelves out.
I need to clear the shelves out
like
for...
when you go Christmas place and all of them.
Compliment. Yes.
Oh, Karen.
Of course, I'm relevant. I'm up there. But what's with you? Don't stop this.
Oh man.
Cook it. Yes. You know. So yeah. So you look for the savings because it's, and be intentional.
Yeah.
Don't let Christmas creep up on you. I hear this so much every year. Lord, it's December already. Christmas just creep up on you. You know it's coming. It's coming like a bill. It is coming. You understand?
Every December.
Start your preparation early. Look for the sales, as you said, in January. Get them, but get it with intention. Don't just buy something because it's there on sale.
Correct.
You understand? Remember, it is a carefully considered plan. This thing is a science, or is it just going to look put together? You know, you don't want your plan to look put together. You don't want it to be an afterthought because it's your home. You understand? And you're honoring yourself through design.
What about the people who are not doing their home but they're doing their office? Like, what tips would you give for somebody? This is not your yard. Your yard can be very personal to you, but you need to design a Christmas space for people, for lots of people to work in.
I love, because you hear people say all the time, "Me not like blue. Me not want it." No, it's not about you. You understand? So therefore, the first place to start, every company, every brand has a color.
Yes.
You understand? So you go with those colors first. You understand? It's not about you. It's not your space. The thing, you put up a tree in the color. Right? You use the ceiling, which is the forgotten wall, you know, because you have all of these desks and so on. You may not have enough space. You know, you want a sense of arrival.
The ceiling is the forgotten wall.
Yeah.
That's profound.
Right? You have a lobby, maybe you have, so you want a sense of arrival. So when people come in, when your employees come in, you feel like, this is happening. You know, my employers honor me, they appreciate
me,
and so on.
If your brand colors are blue and gold and gray, you could do
blue and gold and gray. You know what I'm saying? If you're an electronic store and you're putting up a tree, you do your blue, your gold, your gray, right? And then you put your little toys of electronics on the tree as so you be very intentional with it.
So it's on brand.
Exactly. Last year, they had black trees. I didn't gravitate to the black tree. I just found it a little creepy for Christmas. Right. But that to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Fine. So a black tree would be good for an electronic store. It would be good for, you know what I'm saying, like a very edgy kind of a thing. The trees that are on trend this season, green. Right?
The green one, back to the
green.
green
one, back to green, back to plaid or tartan.
I see that plaid is in because I thought about you because I'm seeing a lot of gingham.
Right. Plaid is in. Bells are in.
Yes.
Lots of bells. Gnomes are in. Angels are in. Bows are huge. You know, ribbons. So those things are in. Now, the thing is now, if you're saying, oh my God, I can't afford to go with the trend. I can't afford to go with this and that. Use what you have. You understand what I'm saying? And then maybe you get another thing, a ribbon. The thing about trends and fads. Trends are 10 years. Fads come and go. The black tree was a fad. You understand? It's not a thing this year. So be careful where you put your money. You understand what I'm saying? What you can do.
You can follow trends, but don't follow the fad.
Don't follow the fad. How you do with the fad now, because you want to be relevant and you want to be up to the minute, you do it in small doses.
The throw pillow.
The throw pillow and the thing so you can throw it out. You know what I'm saying? So you do that in small doses, but you don't do big purchases in a fad because that is money that's going to be wasted the following year when something else comes
when something else is the fad.
Right? Yeah. Color trees and so on, those are also, but it's a personal choice. But what's in this year is classic Christmas, plaid, with
told you
green
guys
tree.
yesterday. I told you guys go
And
with
it's
classic.
always timeless. It's
go
timeless.
with classic.
I'm definitely the girl. I stick with classic.
You stick with it's
And
timeless classic.
my tree has ornaments that I've owned for 10 years.
There you go.
Because sometimes it's just worth buying the classic thing that will never go out of style.
And I have ornaments from my son. Aaron was a baby.
There
so
you
I
go.
still have those. You know what I'm saying? And those are heirloom. And then you put in, like gold is in, you buy a little bit more gold. You think, you know what I'm saying? And if you have a white tree, then the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
You know, you go intentional. What I'm doing with a white tree this year is I'm using burgundy, gold, and a little touch of black. So it's very, very edgy.
Love it, love it.
The Grinch is also in.
Oh, yeah.
The Grinch is also.
I don't do Grinch. I love Christmas.
Yes, who's who? All right, our amazing guest has been Karen Booker, the founder and creative director of Design Diva. Keeping our set jolly as usual. Coming up next, of course, is the morning news with TK. Stay with us.
From where me I have these terrible heartburns. I don't know why. What kind of food you eating? To tell you the truth, I mostly eat fast food. I live alone and I'm too busy for cook my youth.
That's your problem. You're eating too much processed food and building up trans fats.
Trans fats? What that?
Trans fats is a type of fats in a processed foods like fried chicken, fries, donuts, and them things there.
So how that cause heartburn?
So eating trans fats can cause heartburn or acid reflux. So if you don't stop eat it or cut back on the amount you eat, things can get worse.
Like what?
You can get heart attacks, stroke, type 2 diabetes, or even die.
But fats and oils no important for eat my youth.
Yes, but the healthy kind in a vegetable aisle, nuts, seeds, and fish.
Okay, no, I'm gonna switch up my diet starting today.
Just remember to balance it out with your fresh fruits, vegetables, and ground provision.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way. Taste the BK new cheesy jalapeno Whopper combo for only $1,350. The time by Burger King is.
Here at Azan Super Center, you can fill your Christmas list.
It's a Christmas to remember. Get ready for Azan Super Center's Super Sale. From now until Christmas, experience the sale event of the season with incredible savings and super deals. Come get your decorations, lights, gifts, and all the best items for your Christmas party. Why ship when you can shop at Azan Super Center? Our sale is on, so why wait for freight?
So this Christmas, make it Azan Super Center for sure.
It's a lifestyle.
You and VMBS can make it happen with iSave. Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own, all while seeing your balance grow and grow. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. Keep saving monthly. Every deposit brings you closer to the grand prize home. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Welcome to Morning News. I'm TK Dawkins. Journalists across the region are speaking out this morning against any return of criminal libel in Jamaica. Criminal libel is a crime in which a person publishes a statement that is considered defamatory and can be charged or jailed for the offense. Last week, Member of Parliament for St. James West Central and former Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, asked Gender Minister Olivia Grange about the possible reinstatement of criminal libel, a law abolished under the 2013 Defamation Act. But President of the Media Institute of the Caribbean, Kieran Maraj, is warning that this could threaten press freedom.
This could actually stymie media development because you're going to go back to things like self-censorship. Journalists are going to avoid sensitive topics. We know that there was a case in Jamaica many years ago, but in other places in the world where you've had criminal defamation, governments and others have used it to actually stress the media entities financially to the point where some of them have had to close down. I really think it needs to be dealt with from the perspective of cybercrime, because a lot of what is being done nowadays is being done online. And we need to strengthen the legislation that pertains to that space.
Though Christmas is just 23 days away, the season feels dim for many still reeling from Melissa. But one family in Cambridge, St. James, is determined to keep the Christmas spirit alive. Amoy Harriet has their story.
The corporate area is already dressed for Christmas, but for the West, a harsh difference. In the hills of Cambridge, St. James, whole stretches remain without power. Homes still gutted. Christmas all but cancelled for many. But at one house, an unusual scene. Pepper lights cut through the darkness. Marissa Lewis and her husband Ryan live here. They told us just how difficult it was to get their tree up after Melissa.
It was down and I tied the car to the tree and pulled it tight and there, put another card and set the car this way and pull it up and get it. It's not fully up, but it's halfway there. We do it each year and we said, listen, why not still put it up?
For Marissa, the tree, though barely standing, means more to her than decoration.
That Christmas spirit, because there's something about Christmas that makes people feel that warmth, that love, you know, that joy, that spirit of sharing, caring for each other. So that's the feeling of all hope is not lost. So that's the whole aim. That's the whole reason why we put it up. We put it up fairly early, some may say, but we wanted to bring that community spirit.
Their neighbor Alicia Gray Miller visits the Lewis's house nightly to use their Starlink. She recalls being there the night the couple was stringing up the lights.
I saw her putting up the Christmas lights and I said to her, you know, you're really giving life back into a lot of persons, knowing that we don't have any electricity and Melissa has just passed. So when they see the Christmas light, they would say, oh, this is a spirit of Christmas, even though they don't have electricity to celebrate Christmas. But the spirit of seeing the Christmas light would give them the ability or let them know that there is still Christmas even after a disaster.
It's why she wants all of Western Jamaica to keep the spirit of Christmas alive. Despite the darkness, despite the empty tables and roofless homes, Alicia believes there's still hope for the holidays.
We have to still have this positive thinking that there is life after such a disaster. Don't think negative. So even though the Christmas is coming up, just celebrate life and celebrate whatever you have. Just partake of what you have and just move forward, because you can able to rise again. Just build back yourself. If you even don't have a job right now, you will soon have a job. Just got a positive thinking going forward, and where there is life, there is hope.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
On to sports we go. Champions Garvey Maceo could go crashing out of the Asa da Costa Cup today, depending on the results on the final day of the round of 16 in the competition. Garvey Maceo will play Group 3 leaders Glenmuir in a Clarendon showdown in CVM's live and exclusive contest from Glenmuir High School today. The match kicks off at 3 p.m. A draw or win for Garvey Maceo will see them secure their place in the round of 16, but a loss for the reigning champions and a win for Clarendon College over Magotty could see Clarendon College secure the second qualifying spot from the group. Jamaica's basketballers stunned Puerto Rico for the second successive time to move one step closer to qualifying for the FIBA Basketball World Cup on Monday. Chase Audich top scored for Jamaica with 20 points, while Romain Thomas added 18. Two other players were in double figures as well. Kofi Cockburn, who had the game winner last Friday, was again impressive, adding 15 points and 12 rebounds, while Tyrande Latibodere also had 15 points and 6 rebounds. Stephen Thompson Jr. was the top scorer for Puerto Rico with 18 points. The Jamaicans are now second in Group B with 4 points, the same as group leaders Canada. Jamaica's next match is February 26 against Bahamas. And that's it for Morning News. Join us again at noon for more from our news and sports desk. I'm TK Dawkins. Sunrise continues after this.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect can protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
Every day starts with care. Care that's always close. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is where you go for everything you need. From your morning routine to life's biggest moments, Supermed Family of Pharmacies is always by your side. Whether it's prescriptions or household essentials, trust the care that's close to home. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these four boys dream of playing in the ISSA schoolboy football competitions.
Will you score this for Casey? Will you score? It's a shot, it's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield.
Protect.
first. All right, Sunrise family. So in this timely and informative morning checkup, we welcome pediatrician Dr. Stacey Lee Peart to discuss seasonal flu triggered by recent changes in the weather. As temperatures drop and immune systems are more vulnerable, well, this is very topical. Dr. Peart, good morning. How are you?
Hi, morning.
It's good to have you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So we're not making this up, right? All of us can't just be saying something in a something called everybody not well. There's actually a thing going on.
There definitely is. There is definitely a seasonal flu. So, I mean, generally in Jamaica, we have cold versus flu. Really need to know the difference. The cold is really just symptoms that affect the respiratory tract. So your nostrils, toward the back of your nostrils, your throat, going down into your airways, essentially. The flu is really just one part of a cold. So flu really just speaks to influenza virus, which is just one virus that causes the cold. All right. And definitely in the colder months, we see an uptake in these colds or flus. And it's really just because of the cold tends to allow the virus to stay around a little longer. So we sneeze, we touch the table, the virus kind of lingers, Yendi comes and touches the table, she catches my virus. And also it dries out the airways, the nose and the airways going down, and it kind of prevents the natural barrier that we have from the viruses actually getting into our body. It prevents that from taking effect.
So what do I do then? How do I tell the difference between a regular common cold and the flu? And how do I treat with each differently?
So they tend to have the same symptoms. So fever, definitely. Coughing, definitely. Runny nose, stuffiness, sneezing, sore throat. Sometimes you can have a little vomiting and diarrhea with it. Poor appetite, that's with the younger kids. So they tend to have the same symptoms. In terms of treatment, it's really just managing the symptoms. There's no cure-all or one quick fix. It's really just, if you're having a fever, then you take some fever meds just to kind of keep it at bay. If you're having a runny nose, generally it's like saline just to help to moisturize the area. Adequate hydration also helps with the secretions to make them thinner and make them come out a little better, you know, when you blow your nose. If you're having a cough, depending on the age of the child, less than 6 years old, we really don't recommend any cough medicines. Over that, it's really on a case-by-case basis, and it's really if it's affecting sleep, feeding, anyone else in the house, we will...
or everyone else in the house. I'm convinced that schools are like petri dishes because they all come home just like with the strongest, best bacteria ever to spread with everyone else in the house.
But here's the thing, the younger children, they tend to shed their viruses a little longer.
So
they can shed it up to a week, whereas older kids and adults, we tend to shed it maybe 2-3 days.
Got you. Okay.
And then they're always sharing as well.
Correct. And
sharing
everything goes in there to some degree. So what I didn't realize, to be honest, is while we don't have temperatures that drop significantly, we do have a shift in season and a shift in the temperature. So if I know this is coming up, is there anything I can do to ready my body and prepare everyone in my home to perhaps put up a better fight or resistance to a cold or flu?
So building up your immune system, that's number one. So adequate diet,
is the number one way, really,
rest, things that we don't really do. But really just getting a wide variety of vitamins, minerals, nutrients in our diet on a daily basis and have that consistently. Things like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, if we can increase that, it won't prevent or kind of reduce the symptoms when they're on you, but it can help to boost the immune system so you can fight it a little better.
We're seeing some remedies on screen there, and obviously we're looking at things that are also just readily available in the home. There's garlic, there's, you just mentioned vitamin C. I'm seeing also chicken soup. I have a genuine question. Chicken soup really is an aid to fighting?
So I think it's more just the temperature, so warmer solutions or liquids can help to kind of soothe the airway a little better. And then also you can get a lot of vegetables in the soups as well, so that will just kind of attest to the diet
Got
portion
you.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also see menthol ointment, but I have a question now because I grew up doing this thing and I now do it with my children. And what you cannot tell me on air in front of everybody watching is that it's foolishness, but you can oblige me in explaining if there is a method to the madness. So if my kids seem to even go, Doc, me put Vicks on them foot bottom and put on them socks because my granny said that there is correlation between the foot and helping this. Also, there's a theory about putting an onion, a cut onion on the foot bottom and putting on socks, or even having a cut onion in the room.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure of the scientific basis, but Jamaica, we have our own science.
Yes.
And I have tried the Vicks on the foot bottom and on the chest.
Doesn't it work?
It does work in practice.
Does.
I'm not really sure there's a scientific basis for it, but in Jamaican culture, it definitely does work.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely does. But what the menthol really does is just to help to clear the congestion that you're having.
Right.
That's essentially what
and
it is.
love menthol crystals. Oh, nice inhalation, and you can see it. You can actually see a future after you have menthol.
But be careful not to make it too strong, especially for the young ones, because it can irritate the airway as well.
Tell me more about that.
So really just a little, if you're gonna do it, just a little drop.
Okay.
On the bedding, not necessarily where their nose is.
Okay.
So they can still get the sensation of the inhalation, but not the irritation that it may cause.
Very good to note. Saline. Let's talk about how saline can be one's best friend. You mentioned just now about it wetting the membrane and kind of helping the mucus to pass. But saline seems to be that go-to remedy that is, there's no negative effect that can actually come from saline, is there?
Well, there's negative effect in everything, but for this purpose, where it's topical saline, which is really just the nose drops, nasal spray, or the irrigation, very little drawbacks to it.
Yeah.
So it really does help to clear whatever secretions you have in the airway so you can breathe a little better. It also moisturizes the airway, and it helps the little hair-like cells that we have in the nose and the airways function a little better in terms of wafting away the virus as it enters. And generally it helps with decongestion as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're speaking now about things that we do in the moment. We've also spoken about things that we can do leading up to the change in the season in preparing our bodies. Let's speak a bit about the flu vaccine. Yay or nay, and walk me through that.
Okay, so there is definitely a benefit with the flu vaccine. How it's done, it is really the most common strain of the influenza virus from the previous season. So we have it yearly, usually around this time, the colder time of the year. So you can reach out to your medical practitioners about that. It definitely does confer benefit in terms of preventing some cold and flu. Okay, not all, because it's really just the most common strains that we see in it. And I mean, I would suggest that you speak to your medical practitioner about benefits of going forward for you. I know we have a lot of talks nowadays about vaccines and side effects associated with vaccines. Quite frankly, with the flu vaccine, it's minimal side effects. I mean, you're going to have the local side effects in terms of you may have some fever, some soreness to the site of injection, and you can also get a very mild form of the flu when you introduce that into the body. So you can expect that. But overall, the benefit really outweighs the risks.
We've spoken about what we can do at home. At what point, if we're trying to treat at home, do you say, maybe I can't take care of this at home, I need to head to the doctor? What's that point?
So there are a few things. Generally, we expect a fever. If that fever is prolonged, meaning more than about 4 to 5 days, and it's not improving, then we may need to get checked. If you've had a fever initially, it goes away, and then it recurs, it comes back, then maybe something else is happening, you get checked. We're expecting a runny nose, can last up to 2 weeks, especially with the younger kids. If you're having that runny nose past that time and it's not improving at all, then definitely get checked. Some persons think that if you have a yellow or green discoloration to the mucus, that means it's a bacteria, so you need antibiotics. Not the case.
Really?
It's just a factor of how well your body is responding to the virus, how well your cells are really activated and trying to get rid of the virus out of your body. So colored mucus does not mean bacteria. It could still be virus.
Miss Spear said that means an infection, Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating us. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely also if you're having difficulty breathing,
Right.
if the kids are breathing really fast and not slowing down, we definitely get checked. If you're having a cough that persists. Now the issue with cough and the cold and flu is that you can have the cough kind of linger after all the symptoms are gone. So it can linger for like another 1 to 2 weeks really.
Yes.
But it should be improving. It really should be improving. So if it's not improving during that time, then definitely
Time to pay a
checked
visit.
out. Right.
All right. Very informative. Awesome stuff. Hold on. How long is this flu season?
It generally lasts until early next year, maybe like February, March, when it switches over.
So why we don't have
spring.
winter? It's winter time.
It's winter
what is
time,
happening.
definitely.
All right. Load up on your chicken soup. And your Vicks on your foot butter. Our guest has been Dr. Stacey Lee Peart, consultant pediatrician. Awesome stuff, very informative. Great to have you. We head to another break, but there's more Sunrise on the flip side, so please stay with us right here on CBN.
Jamaica's borders is a key priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. The JCA will remain vigilant and resolute in effectively fulfilling this mandate. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 7:15 a.m.
The Chris and Charles Merry Money Mania loan promotion. This Christmas, borrow big and win bigger. Get $1.5 million or $2 million in loans at special reduced rates, plus a chance to win your share of $1 million. And new customers get double entries. The promotion runs from October 15 and is now extended to January 30, 2026. Visit any Chris and Charles branch or chrisandcharles.com for details. Chris and Charles, making life merry again. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Burger King, holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals on CBM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CBM website, man.
Greatness begins here.
Hey, glad to have you back with us, Sunrisers, while as several communities across the island continue to experience some delays in the full restoration of piped water service. The National Water Commission, Water is Life. They've rolled out a series of relief measures aimed at ensuring residents maintain access to clean, treated water for everyday use. This morning, the Corporate Public Relations Manager, Delano Williams from the NWC, He joins us live right here in studio to outline the Commission's strategy behind this initiative. He's going to help explain how location points were actually selected and share some of the details on how the public, you, can access these temporary water facilities. Welcome, Delano. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning to
Welcome.
you both. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you.
Morning to your viewers as well.
Before we talk about the specific instruments that you're now using, can we get a bit of a brief overview or update as to how recovery efforts are going for the NWC?
So absolutely. So we are currently at about 82% overall of restoration to our customers.
Okay.
Bear in mind, I'm using some words like customers versus the general population. So we have over 550,000 customers. Currently, we have restored over 455,000 of those. So as I said, 82%. Now what we're seeing is a balance. Well, we've literally had to kind of treat the island in two segments.
I would think so.
Right. So the eastern section running from St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland going east, and also from Clarendon coming towards Kingston, St. Thomas. Those are trending above 92%.
Right.
But the western section, parts of Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James, that now is looking at about 60%, which means that we have of 160, almost 170,000 customers in that western belt. We are just about at 100,000.
Persons can easily appreciate, because they drive past and they see downed electricity poles, and they can say, well, these people aren't getting electricity for now, and they can see why.
Right.
But from a water perspective, which so much of the work is unseen.
That's true.
What are the factors then that influence why maybe one parish might be at below 60 or just above 60 and another is much higher?
The reality is while we have what you call a subterranean structure, meaning the pipes are underground, we still have fixtures that are above ground that have become susceptible to the hurricane. So we have pumps, we have physical buildings that house the motors, and of course we also depend on the electricity grid. So all of those things,
impact the people receiving water.
So in some parishes, when electricity comes back, water will come back.
Water will come back.
Right.
We've put in a number of resilience measures, though. So most of our large plants right across the island were running on generators before the JPSCO's power supply came back. And that helped us to maintain or to restore water supply to critical institutions such as the hospitals, the police stations, number of schools, number of town centers, etc.
I'm going to ask our producer to just keep that image on screen there.
Yes.
Delano, walk me through what we're looking at on screen, and let's talk a bit more about the standpipes and the filling stations that you guys have installed and the criteria for selecting the locations where they have been installed.
Right. So once we've restored a number of those major systems, whether by generator or the main power sources, we've identified that we still have customers who need water. Hence the alternate measures such as what you're seeing on screen. Now I have to pause here to highlight that we have had and still do have some partners. So through the ODPEM, through UNICEF, we were able to secure partnerships with overseas relief agencies such as, they call them Global Solutions and Development. They brought to our shores an 80-foot vessel that provided water treatment and also a number of the bladder tanks. Well, that's really an inflatable tank, but the technical term is a bladder tank. So you can fill it, you can move it from location to location. So it was initially, one of these was initially at the Shorty Malcolm complex in Lucy. We were able to move it into Hopewell at the Bethel School. We have now moved it again to Woodland. We are also at a number of other locations, Chester Castle, Ramble. In Westmoreland, we are at Broughton, Strawberry Primary School. We are at Belmont. We are at the Reno Playfield, just to name a few. What it allows us is locations that do not have primary piped supply. these are safe alternatives for drinking water and domestic water. And that is what it allows us. It allows us the flexibility to get to more persons outside of the piped water range, who can then collect, whether in their tanks or in their, well, people have driven up their vehicles and brought small containers, and it has helped them to access water on a daily basis.
So in terms of bringing water to where it's needed, to what extent does that now increase water supply? I mean, do you work it out as a percentage of where between piped water being restored and water being mobilized into the most needed spaces? Like, does that bring us up to what level?
Well, it brings us to the trick to it is that while we generally count our customers in terms of the pipe supply, this becomes a broader reach. So both customers and non-customers are benefiting from it. And that's why I made the point to distinguish. So our general population is now receiving water. What we can tell you is that on a daily basis, we're supplying over 100,000 gallons of water to these. And the good news is, as of today, we will also be receiving additional trucks. As we speak, 12 trucks are moving to the Mariska Road plant, where they will be reassigned into a number of the parishes most affected. That gives us another 150,000 gallons of delivery potential to take to these areas and be able to impact both our customers and the general residents.
Well, let me ask you this, completely off script here,
Yes.
because obviously the distinction is made clear about customers and non-customers. What is the possibility then that this is actually a solution for people to access water and perhaps become customers in a non-typical way?
Well, the Vision 2030 model actually projects similar solutions to these. So the NWC is expected to move from about 75% coverage of the island to 85% of 3 million population. The other 15% will be served via a combination of tanks like these, situations like these, and what the rural water supply will help to deliver in terms of smaller systems at strategic points. So the combination of tank systems, standpipes, are all in the mix in terms of the overall rollout for the water sector.
Boy, when the people come, how much do they need to pay?
It's free, no?
I just needed you to be. So they come and they turn up with their containers, and they don't have to pay anything.
No.
And so anybody's telling you that you have to pay anything, it is not true.
Absolutely free, absolutely free. And that is what we want to press home, that at a time like this, we are striving to provide water supply to everybody that needs it. So the distinction for me is really just to be able to capture how far along I am with distribution and recovery. But in terms of who gets the water, we are really striving, whether with the NWC solely or with the partners we have, to deliver water to everybody. That needs it.
Because on the monitoring and accountability side, that's something that immediately come to mind. How are we sure that the same people, it's not the same people getting the water, and then maybe I'll take it and I sell back to the people on the ground?
Well, the size of the containers kind of limit you to almost just daily use or a few days use, you know, and we also have to give account for the persons who are being neighborly. So they will come with a large container because they are mobile, but they are taking it so they can assist 2 or 3 neighbors who cannot get to the supply.
And in terms of ensuring the quality of the water that's there, how do you ensure that we're bringing or delivering clean water and we're maintaining water standards?
So that's critical, which is why we've taken the time to publish this, right? So we have a fleet and we also have between 30 and 40 private contractors. These contractors and our trucks have to be sterilized and tested periodically. So even during this time, our water quality team, big ups to Ms. Sasha Gay and to Nadine Patterson, they constantly, every single day, take samples from both the trucks, the water station points, and the facilities to ensure that we still maintain the standards set by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You have an opportunity to perhaps give a message to some customers who may feel a bit of frustration still. Obviously, they depend on you heavily.
Yes.
What message would you say to those customers?
So absolutely, we want to say to you, I know it's been frustrating. We're counting 30 plus days since the storm has passed, the hurricane has passed, and we are thanking you for your patience. We are also saying to you, we are working to get to you as quickly as we possibly can. Every resource that is within our gift, that's what we are putting in place. And so we're asking you just to bear with us a little bit more, and water soon come.
All right, there you have it.
Good point on which to end.
A big thank you to our guest, Delano Williams, Corporate Public Relations Manager at the NWC. Don't go far. Sunrise Freshers is up next with Jason Brown, and you don't want to miss that. Actually, we're going to do Freshers on the side, and I guarantee I'm going to be Dennis. You won't see that, but I'll tell you about it when I do. Look at that.
And householders, access the Heart NSTA Trust Skills Registry today to employ trained and certified skilled professionals. The time by Heart is
7:30.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
And everybody with me, why eat all the snacks when sunshine has the best for you? Nature's best buns are crunchy. The flavor that sings to you. Salted banana and plantain. Taste the freshness, naturally sweet. The flavor that sings to you.
Ayo, nature's best bunch.
We are back. Yes, we are back. After 37 days, schoolboy football is back, but under different circumstances. Far different circumstances.
The confirmed death toll from Hurricane Melissa has climbed to 45.
The destruction Hurricane Melissa left in her wake is undeniable. The disruption of lives, displacement, and in some cases, absolute desperation were palpable. But in the midst of despair, it is sport which can provide an escape. Hope can shine brightly even after the gloom of disaster has brought darkness. And that hope can be found in the teamwork, community, and camaraderie built through sport. ISSA Schoolboy Football is aiming to lift the nation's student athletes and the wider Jamaica out of the perils they face after the storm. Even in times of struggle, the Jamaican spirit of resilience will continue to shine through sport. Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orvin Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
What do you girl? I feel stressed out. 2 months from my baby and a peer problem with breastfeeding. The baby not getting enough milk like when I'm there at the hospital.
So why you never tell me?
I didn't even know. I not rest. A peer problem with breastfeeding. People keep on telling me something to give the baby bush tea and say it good for him. Then my friend them a tell me say if my breastfeed, my breast are gonna drop.
No go so. At 5 I want me breastfeed. I don't know my breast them. No make nobody stress you out. Because if you stress, you're not gonna produce enough milk. I better ask your nurse or your doctor. Me hear the matter about breastfeeding support with the clinic. Then teach the young mothers how to breastfeed properly. And take care of the picnic. Then teach our family to, you know.
I'm gonna eat Friday when I go clinic.
And make sure you ask about the breastfeeding support group and join.
Thank you, mommy. I don't know what me to do without you.
Breastfeeding is an act of love that bonds mothers and babies and provides mothers protection by lowering their risk of developing cervical and breast cancer. Breast is best. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Welfare.
I got you to pull out the...
Thank you for coming today.
I'm your host, Jason. Our teams are ready for another Sunrise Freshers brought to you by Sunshine Snacks. So this week we have members of the National Secondary Students Council here to test their skills and see which team has what it takes to be the Freshers champion. So let's meet our teams this morning. Welcome everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Okay. So intros, please, your name and your title. Let's start here.
Hi, good morning. My name is Craig Lewis, Region 6, Secretary PRO within the National Secondary Students Council.
Okay.
My name is Jadiel Carlisle, the Public Relations Officer and Secretary for Region 1.
My name is Casey Ann Chattery, the Public Relations Officer and Secretary for the Region 3 for the NSSC.
Okay.
Good morning again, everybody. My name is Jayana Thompson. I am one of the chairpersons for the Task Force on Violence Prevention for the National Secondary Student Council.
Lovely.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Orlando Leng, Region 3 Assistant VP and Treasurer.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning. I am Torian Murphy, Region 1, that is Kingston and St. Andrew Vice President.
All right, so real quickly, the NSSC, what is that? What do we do?
Okay, so the National Secondary Students Council serves as the umbrella organizations for all the student council bodies in the country.
Okay.
So in a sense, we fall under the Ministry of Education, and our mandate basically is to represent for the students in Jamaica.
That's we were founded when?
Okay, so we were founded in 1975 and we were later legitimized under the Education Act of 1980 through the mandate that states every public educational institution shall have a student council.
Oh, and the sun bright this morning. Clap on the sound. The sun bright this morning. So are we ready? Test your buzzers, please. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's make it festive this morning. All right. Yeah. Jamaican knowledge. Question 1. Which Jamaican town is known as the Bamboo Avenue region because of its long stretch of bamboo-lined road?
Holland Bamboo. St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth.
What you said before?
Holland Bamboo.
That is correct.
Okay.
True or false? Port Antonio is located in Portland.
True.
Which Jamaican parish is nicknamed the Sunshine City?
Portmore.
That is correct. Which Jamaican national hero led the 1831 Christmas Rebellion?
Sunshine.
Riddle me this. Okay. Maroon and me roll, but me can't move by myself. What am I?
A barrel?
A wheel. I'm there on table every day, but nobody near me. What am I? That is correct. I'm tall when me young and short when me old. What am I?
Candle.
All right. General knowledge and fun facts. Which planet is known as the red planet?
Mars.
Mars.
What going over here? So true or false? The Amazon River is the longest river in the world.
False?
Correct. What is the largest ocean on Earth?
The Pacific Ocean.
Good. Which country invented the Olympic Games? Well on them, man.
Was it France?
No, Greece.
That is correct. Jamaican food. Which Jamaican dish is made from minced meat and wrapped in a flaky pastry?
Patties.
Correct. Which Jamaican dish includes green bananas, dumplings, yam, and other ground provisions boiled together?
Rundown.
No. We call it food or boiled food. Yeah. So true or false? Manish water is made from goat meat.
True.
Good. Which Jamaican treat is made from grated coconut and brown sugar?
Coconut drops.
What popular Jamaican Christmas drink is made with cherries? Cherries? Yes, sorry. Alright, so Jamaican visual questions. This famous Montego Bay location is known for its hip strip and beach activities. What is it called?
Oh. Is it the hip strip?
Good. This St. Elizabeth natural attraction features a 120 feet waterfall and a river flowing through lush vegetation. Good. This Kingston cultural site houses artifacts of Jamaican history and is located near Hero Circle. What is it called? And the name upon it, you know? That is crazy.
Institute of Jamaica.
That is correct. This nigger attraction features cliff diving and stunning sunsets. What is it called?
Rick's Cafe.
Okay. So now Jamaican Christmas trivia.
Right.
What Jamaican Christmas drink is made from the hibiscus?
Sorry.
That is correct. What Jamaican Christmas treat is made with molasses or wet sugar?
Okay. Wait. Oh no.
Pass.
That is Buster.
Oh.
Or Stagger. True or false? John Kuno was once a major part of Jamaican Christmas celebrations.
True.
Which popular Jamaican Christmas dessert contains soaked fruits and rum?
Fruitcake.
What special type of ham is typically served at Jamaican Christmas dinner?
And a bacon.
What kind of glazed ham?
Honey.
Ah, that is it.
Okay.
If you love me, get me some ham, please. Complete the Christmas lyric. Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the
Holy Bible say Mary's boy child Jesus Christ was born on Christmas Day.
All right. Next one. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad.
Prospero and felicidad.
Good. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And the last one. Deck the halls with balls of holly. La 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 la. Clap yourself, guys. Good job. I don't even want to hear the scores because did you guys get one? Did you get one or two? But the scores this morning are, let's wait on them.
You won.
15 to 11. You guys got some. That's good. Clap yourselves. Clap yourselves. And thank you for being on the show this morning. I wish you all the very best to try now. To champion the voice of children in Jamaica. I wish I was that smart as you when I was that young. But there you have it. And that's all the time we have for Freshers this morning. We'll be right back after the break.
Is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is 7:45.
We are back. Yes, we are back. After 37 days, schoolboy football is back, but under different circumstances. Far different circumstances.
The confirmed death toll from Hurricane Melissa has climbed to 45.
The destruction Hurricane Melissa left in her wake is undeniable. The disruption of lives, displacement, and in some cases, absolute desperation were palpable. But in the midst of despair, it is sport which can provide an escape. Hope can shine brightly even after the gloom of disaster has brought darkness. And that hope can be found in the teamwork, community, and camaraderie built through sport. ISSA Schoolboy Football is aiming to lift the nation's student athletes and the wider Jamaica out of the perils they face after the storm. Even in times of struggle, the Jamaican spirit of resilience will continue to shine through sport.
All right. La lang dee ding.
Oh,
Dennis. Pass me last. Morning.
Hey, look for university singers.
You know, morning, Hallie.
Listen, I don't know if you guys know, but let me tell you something. The CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, the final is set. Mount Pleasant FA faces O&M FC. Regional football supremacy will be on the line this evening.
Yes.
When Jamaica's Mount Pleasant FA goes head-to-head with the Dominican Republic contenders O&M FC. And the grand finale, this is, of course, the grand finale of the 2025 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. The championship match is scheduled for 7 p.m. and it is at the National Stadium right here in Kingston. This is the second leg.
Yes.
Mount Pleasant won the first leg.
One love on aggregate. Yeah.
So, what we need to get a Jamaica win tonight, Andre? Just for Mount Pleasant to win.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. One tapper.
I love this for us. But also, you know what I love for us? That back to back, it's, well, I'm going to speak it into existence. I'll go win the Caribbean Cup tonight.
Right. Cavaliers won last time?
Cavalier won last time, which is how we end up playing Inter Miami.
Yes.
I love this for us. Jamaica right through.
We need to be at the top, right? So guess what? You can get your tickets, of course, purchased at caribtix.com. $1,500 pre-sold, $2,000 at the gate. And the gates open at 5 p.m. Kickoff time is 7 o'clock.
I wonder if we need to go stadium.
Rastanaga Stadium. Rasta Bun Stadium. Stay wise. Babylon, why you stay dumb?
You know what? I think this is where we say bye.
You didn't even understand.
No, I overstand.
Hey, that's what I tell you. Yeah. So,
my overs. Yeah.
So we are forward out to stay wise. You see it? You dig? Yeah.
I'm going to ask, has this been inspired by Everton or Jamaican Rasta Santa? Yeah.
Speaking of Jamaican Rasta Santa, a very festive Christmas decor was especially curated by Karen Booker, the design diva. And thank you very much for all your Christmas decor inspiration and hacks. Check out Karen at Karen Design Diva Booker. That's design with a Z. Or call 876-421-6298. Have her design your space today.
I just want our viewers to know, DJ, if you could get back a shot of Everton, please. If we could just, head on over to Everton. He will not say it for himself, but I am going to say it for him. This, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen right now is Dennis's goal in life.
What?
He desires to have this exact outfit on Christmas morning, and this is exactly what he will look like when he tells everyone that they can't go to a stadium because they have to stay wise. Yeah? And he doesn't understand because you have to overalls. This is why Dennis goes to the gym, to wear a mesh marina.
A mesh marina, because are you Jamaican if you've never worn one?
Dennis, you own a mesh marina?
I do own one.
Is it black, green, and gold?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And I have a Rasta belt.
It's giving Everton Donovan.
I have a Rasta belt. You know, I bought a Rasta belt when I was in grade 7. I couldn't wear it because my mother was like, "You're not no Rasta." In the name of Jesus.
Well, in the name of Jesus.